Sex is a big topic. So, in a past video of mine, I was talking about society and the media specifically, and how it portrays sex as something different that than what sex was meant to be. And I hope nobody misunderstood what I was trying to say there. I wasn't trying to say that sex is for only one thing. There's a big view among authoritarian types, oftentimes, that sex is only for procreation, and I disagree with that. The pleasurable aspects of sex are wonderful and a great part of life, and also the bonding between two people is very great as well, and it can be a spiritual experience. So as far as sex and spirituality go, my first thoughts concerning sex and spirituality stemmed from being in the Christian church as a young person. I can remember when I first started thinking about sex and how the Bible talks about it, I was like, nah, I disagree there. because like any young males at that age, I was horny as heck, and I wanted to get laid as soon as I possibly could, and I disagreed with the biblical teachings concerning sex, that it should be something that you wait until marriage to participate in, and that basically that it was only for procreation. But I did always feel that it was something to be respected, much like the ocean. It's a great, vast thing. It can be wonderful and fun, but also it should be respected, because it can take you under really quickly. So I had that in the back of my mind, and as I've grown through the years, I've had many thoughts about sex and sexuality, how it relates to the spirit, and I think it really does relate to the spirit and can be a strong part of your spiritual life in a couple of different ways. So I believe that the pleasurable aspect of sex is very important and something that everyone should experience. I think that all acts of love and pleasure are wonderful things. And sex can also be used with magic. When you have sex, you build up a huge amount of energy, and then when you release that through an orgasm, it releases a huge amount of energy. And this was something that was thought about a lot and wrote about a lot by Aleister Crowley. He said that when people have orgasms, every time it makes a baby up in the next realm. A baby, not necessarily a physical baby like we might think of one, but as a manifestation of thought, something that is released from us takes form in another dimension when we have our orgasms. So, thusly, when you have an orgasm, if you can hold an intention in your mind and let it be released with your orgasm, that releases that energy out into the universe where it can be mirrored back into your life. That is sex magic. The thing about sex that you have to watch out for is developing an attachment to it or an addiction to it. It has to be kept in perspective like anything else in life. You don't want it to get in the way of your spirituality or in the way of your growth as a human being. You always want to make sure that the most important things is the light that's shining inside of you. You don't want anything taking priority over that or diminishing it. Another use of sexuality for spiritual purposes it revolves around the concept of Tantric Sex. Now, it's primarily a Western view that sex is mainly about having the orgasm. It's not necessarily true. There's a lot of people that would rather not go through the foreplay and everything and just get to having the orgasm. That's not engaging in sexuality in the best way, the most pleasurable way, or in a spiritual way, or in a very loving way. So Tantric Sex is an Eastern idea involving foregoing the orgasm and having more of a spiritual orgasm, so to speak. I don't know a whole lot about this, but I have started experimenting some with it and find that through certain techniques, there's a technique called the deer technique, or the deer massage. You can look that up and find it online. But it is a way of bringing the Kundalini energy from your root chakra up through all your other chakras, energizing them all till you get to your crown chakra. And it fully energizes your crown chakra, and that leads to an ecstatic state. I think it's something that has to, an ability that has to be built up over time, but if you practice it, you can feel like electricity going up the line of the pathway of your chakras, up your spine, and I can feel a rush in my head from it. It's quite pleasurable. But it's kind of a subtle thing, at least at this point. I'm sure it gets stronger as you practice it. Another idea about sexuality and how it relates to spirituality is the idea of foregoing not having orgasms over a long amount of time, and that is said to make the Kundalini energy slowly, but in a more powerful and profound way, move up your chakras to your crown chakra, which will lead you to a very powerful state of spiritual existence on a long-term basis, not just for a little while. So that pretty well sums up my thoughts on sexuality and spirituality and how they relate, and magic, how how sex relates with magic. Um, once again, I think sex is a wonderful thing and a powerful thing, a beautiful thing. But it should be not taken lightly. That's something that I meant when in the first video that I was speaking of, how the media and society make sex into something rather cheap, something that can be profited from, or something that actually hurts someone involved in the sexual act. None of those things are good or helpful to anyone in the long run. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found it thought-provoking. Much love. Namaste.